friends, I once again welcome you all on my Easy Chemistry channel. And today, as you have demanded that we need all the numericals in one go for chemical thermodynamics, so for that we are today here with a video on all the types of numericals that we are going to see in chemical thermodynamics. Okay, so this video I will divide it into two parts because it will be too lengthy to take all types of numericals in one video. So we will divide this video into two parts, part A and part B, and let us start with the video then. Okay, so now before starting a numerical or before solving the numerical, I want you that when I'm taking this video, when you are watching this video, then please take your pen and copy with you and jot down first whatever formulas, whatever the list of formulas and the required conversions which I will be giving you over here, and then we can solve the numericals. So when we will solve the numericals, you will be able to see from the formulas which formula I am using, and it will also be helpful for you to recollect how you are going to use the given data and how you are going to fill it in the given formulas or whichever formulas you know for the chemical thermodynamics, and going to compute it out. Okay, so let us start with the video. So the first step is to list out all the formulas that we will be needing to solve the numericals, and all those formulas which are there in your chemical thermodynamics. Okay, so in the chemical thermodynamics we have first seen about the work done, and this work done is given as W is equals to minus P x, x means external pressure, into delta V. And delta V, we all know that delta V is nothing but the final volume minus the initial volume. So mostly it will be V2 minus V1. V2 is considered as the volume in the final state and V1 is considered as the volume in the initial state. Therefore, work done will be equals to W is equals to minus P external into delta V. This we have seen for an work done in an irreversible process. Okay, whenever the process will be reversible, the work done will be maximum, and whenever the process is irreversible, then the work done will be of the type W is equals to minus P external delta V, or it is also given as W is equals to delta NgRT, where delta Ng means the change in the number of moles for the gaseous reactants. Okay, into R is the gas constant and T is absolute temperature. This is one of the formula for the work done. Then if the work is of the isothermal and reversible type, then the work will be maximum work done, and in that case W max is given as minus 2.303 nRT log to the base 10 of P1 upon P2, and in this case P1 and P2 are the pressures, and the unit for the max, W max, whatever the work done will be found out, it will be in either kilojoules or joules depending upon the value of R and depending upon the R and P. Okay, so if it is in joules, then your answer will be in joules. If it is in kilojoules, or if it is asked to find out the answer in kilojoules, then you have to convert the value of the R, that is 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole, into kilojoules, and then you have to solve it out. Okay, and here P1 is the pressure, initial pressure, and P2 is the final pressure. The same thing, if the pressure is not given but the volume is given, then we can use the formula as W max is equals to minus 2.303 nRT log to the base 10 of V2 upon V1. Okay. Then next we have seen about the internal energy, that is the change in the internal energy delta U is equals to Q plus W, where Q is the internal energy, Q is the amount of the heat present or heat evolved or heat absorbed during the reaction or during the process, and W is the work done. And in this case also the energy is calculated out in kilojoules. The next is for the enthalpy, change in enthalpy. The change in enthalpy can be given as delta H is equals to delta U plus P delta V, where delta H is the change in enthalpy, delta U means the change in internal energy that we have just calculated it out, plus P delta V. And this P delta V is nothing but the work done if a negative sign is given. Then again, now since the work done W is also delta NgRT, therefore in place of P delta V we can substitute delta NgRT, and the unit for enthalpy change will be kilojoules per mole. Then if we have been asked to find out the enthalpy change for a reaction, then enthalpy change for a reaction is given as the summation of enthalpy of formation of the product minus the summation of enthalpy change for the reactant. Again here the enthalpy change is in kilojoules per mole. This is for the enthalpy of a particular reaction. But if bond enthalpy is asked, means about the breakage of the bond, then always we are going to take in this way, that is the change in the whatever the change in the enthalpy for the reaction, if we are calculating out the bond enthalpy, then only we'll consider the summation of delta H of reactant minus delta H of product. Okay, so in this case you can see यहाँ पर क्या है, product minus reactant, and in this case it is reactant minus product. And why we have taken this? Because at the time of the teaching bond enthalpy, I have told you that whenever a bond is broken, then more energy is required than when a bond is formed. और जब भी कोई reaction हो रही है, इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, पहले bond break होगा, तभी जाके वो दो reactants आपस में react होंगे and they will form the product. Means the bond breaking energy, since the bond breaking or the enthalpy needed to break a bond is higher, therefore in this case we are considering the change in enthalpy for the reactant first and then the product. Okay, then next is the change in entropy, delta S. S is the entropy. Entropy means the randomness. Okay, so entropy, change in entropy is given as Q reversible upon T. And this Q reversible is nothing but the heat change during the the heat change taking place when the reaction or when the process is getting reversed. Okay, मतलब अगर आपको किसी reaction की delta H की value दी हुई है, means what, कि वो particular reaction perform होने में हमें उतना heat लगता है, but अगर हमें Q reversible लेना है, मतलब हमें क्या करना है कि सराउंडिंग कितना अप्लाई कर रहा है उस प्रोसेस पे, या सराउंडिंग की वजह से रिएक्शन पे कितनी हीट का असर पड़ रहा है, वो क्या हो जाएगा, दैट विल बी द Q रिवर्सिबल. Okay, so Q reversible upon T, and the unit for this is joules per Kelvin. Then now if we want to find out the relation between the entropy and the spontaneity, we find out the total entropy, and total entropy is nothing but the sum of the entropy for the system as well as for the surrounding, delta S of system plus delta S of surrounding. Then next is delta G, that is the Gibbs energy. Again, the Gibbs has also given a relationship between the spontaneity and the Gibbs energy. Okay, so that Gibbs energy delta G is given as delta H, where this delta H is a change in the enthalpy minus T delta S, and in this case this delta S is the change in the enthalpy of a change in entropy of a system. Then next is delta G is equals to minus T delta S total. In this case delta G means the Gibbs energy is equals to minus T delta S total, means as system plus surrounding. Okay, now whenever we are using these formulas will generally be asked for the numericals to find out whether the reaction or whether the process is spontaneous or नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस. ओके, तो इनका यूज करके हम बता सकते हैं कि रिएक्शन स्पॉन्टेनियस है या नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस है बाय फाइंडिंग आउट देयर वैल्यूज. इफ डेल्टा एस इज पॉजिटिव मीन्स इट इज ग्रेटर देन 0 एंड डेल्टा जी इज नेगेटिव, आइदर में बी गिवन, आइदर डेल्टा एस सिर्फ दिया रहेगा आपको एंड दे मैं आस्क्ड यू अबाउट द स्पॉन्टेनिटी और द नॉन स्पॉन्टेनिटी ऑफ द रिएक्शन, तो तब आपको क्या करना है, सिर्फ देखना है कि डेल्टा एस पॉजिटिव है क्या. अगर डेल्टा एस पॉजिटिव है मतलब आपकी रिएक्शन जो है वो स्पॉन्टेनियस है. If delta S is less than 0, then it is non-spontaneous, and if it is 0, then it is in equilibrium. And the opposite takes place for Gibbs energy, means if the Gibbs energy is less than 0, means negative, then the reaction is spontaneous. If Gibbs energy is greater than 0, means it is positive, then it is non-spontaneous, and if it is equals to 0, means the system or the process is at equilibrium. Now while solving these numericals, okay, whenever we will solve the numericals, we have to concentrate over the units. Okay, as I have said while teaching the numericals on the solution chapter also. So if you have any query regarding the solution numericals in the solution chapter, then you may watch that video. In that video I have given you all the conversions that are needed for that chapter. Okay, now in this case, when we are deriving or when we are using these formulas to find out the answers, then we have to keep a proper watch on what unit has been given and what unit is needed. Okay, and in order to sometimes it may be needed to convert that units, and for that we will be needing these type of conversions. First is, if we want to convert 10 raised to power 5 pascals, means if we want to convert the pascals into bar, then 10 raised to power 5 pascal is equals to 1 bar atmosphere. And most probably here, now whenever we are doing the work done in when we'll use this formula to find out the work done, that is P external into delta V, then mostly the pressure is given in bar and the volume is given in dm cube. So whenever we have to convert this bar dm cube into joules, then the conversion is 1 bar dm cube is 100 joules. Okay, so whatever answer it will be coming over here, that much is equals to 100 joules, and then we can divide it by 100 to find out the answer in joules. Then we all know that 1 and also 1 liter atmosphere. Okay, whenever it is the unit is in liter atmosphere, then 1 liter atmosphere can be converted into joules by multiplying it by 101.35 joules. Then 1 kilojoule is 1000 joules, we all know. Also 1 centimeter cube and 1 decimeter cube, there is a difference between this. The students generally make the mistakes over here. सेंटीमीटर क्यूब भी दिया रहेगा तब भी आप यही फॉर्मूला यूज कर लेते हो एंड योर आंसर बिकम्स रॉन्ग. ओके, सो सेंटीमीटर क्यूब मीन्स ml and decimeter cube means liter, and we are using here the formula in liters. Means every time you have to concentrate that the volume should be given in decimeter cube and not in centimeter cube. And if it is given in centimeter cube, you have to convert it into decimeter cube by multiplying it with the 10 raised to power minus 3, because 1 decimeter cube is equals to 1 liter, and that is 1000 ml, and we know that 1 ml is 1 centimeter cube. Okay, so if you want to convert this, you have to multiply it by 1 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Okay, so these formulas and conversions will be needed to solve the numericals on chemical thermodynamics. So without wasting time, let us start with the numericals. Okay, so let us see our first numerical, that is 1 mole of an ideal gas is compressed from 500 centimeter cube against a constant external pressure of 1.2 into 10 raised to power 5 pascals. The work involved in the process is 36 joule. Calculate the final volume. Okay, so first, whenever you get a numerical, you have to write down what is given to you and what you have to find out. Then automatically, by seeing all the things, what is given, what we have to find out, automatically the formula strikes into your mind which formula you have to use to solve this numerical. Okay, so let us do that. First, let us write down given. Now in this case, first 1 mole of an ideal gas, means the number of mole is given to be 1, is compressed from 500 centimeter cube. From means the volume has started, so this will be V1 is equals to 500 centimeter cube. And just now we have said that whenever the volume is in centimeter cube, we have to convert it into decimeter cube. Okay, so this will become 500 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 decimeter cube, and that is nothing but 0.5 decimeter cube. Okay, so 2 into 2, this can also be written as 5 into 10 raised to the power 2, and 2 minus 3 will be minus 1, so this is 0.5. Okay, then next, against a constant external pressure of external pressure means P external is given to us. P external is 1.2 into 10 raised to the power 5 pascals. Okay, again here also we will convert the pressure into bar, and we know that 10 raised to the power 5 pascals is equals to 1 bar, means this is equals to 1 bar. Therefore this is nothing but 1.2 into 1 bar, that is 1.2 bar. Okay, next, the work involved in the process is 36 joules. The work done W is given to be 36 joules. Okay, calculate the final volume. What we have to find? To find out V2. V2 is question mark for us. Okay, now in this case, since all these values have been given, what do you think? Which formula we will find out? We will use W max or we will use just the W? Okay, yes. In this case, we are going to use simply W. Why we are not using W max? Because W max, I have said while teaching the maximum work done formula at that time, also in the video, I have taught you that whenever a work is done with an isothermal and reversible process, then only the work done will be W max. And whenever such a W max is asked to find out, then in the question it will always be given the आइसोथर्मल एंड रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस. ओके, जब भी ऐसा क्वेश्चन रहेगा कि उन्हें डब्ल्यू मैक्स अगर आपसे एक्सपेक्टेड है, तब उन क्वेश्चंस में क्या रहेगा, रिवर्सिबल एंड आइसोथर्मल मेंशन रहेगा. ओके, या रहेगा मेंशन कि यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट मैक्सिमम वर्क. अगर मैक्सिमम वर्क वर्ड यूज नहीं किया है, देन दे विल मेंशन दैट द सिस्टम और द प्रोसेस इज आइसोथर्मल एंड रिवर्सिबल. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ ये दोनों चीजें नहीं दी गई है और we have to find W दिया हुआ है हमें. ठीक है, so we have to find out the final volume और external pressure दिया हुआ है. means we are going to use the formula W is equals to minus P external into delta V. ओके, अब ये हो गया. उसके बाद हमें क्या करना है, सेकेंड चीज हमें यूनिट्स पर ध्यान देना है. यहाँ हमने डेसीमीटर क्यूब बना लिया है. ठीक है, वॉल्यूम नंबर ऑफ मोल्स की हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं है. पी एक्सटर्नल को भी हमने बार में कन्वर्ट कर लिया. मतलब ये हो गया मेरा बार, ये हो गया मेरा डीएम क्यूब. अब इसमें भी यहाँ पर मुझे क्या करना है, आई हैव टू फाइंड आउट V2 मींस दिस कैन आल्सो बी रिटन एज P एक्सटर्नल इनटू V2 माइनस V1, जिसमें से हमें इनिशियल वॉल्यूम पता है एंड वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट द फाइनल वॉल्यूम एंड W इज गिवन. बट इन दिस केस दिस इज इन डीएम क्यूब, दिस इज इन बार and W is given in joules. So we have to convert W also in bar dm cube. How? We know that 1 bar dm cube is 100 joules. ठीक है? Now we have been given W is equals to 36 joules. Okay, so we have to convert it into bar dm cube. So 36 joules will be how much bar dm cube? Yes, this is the question. So this will go here over here. इसको क्या करेंगे, we are going to cross multiply. Okay, so 100 joules into question mark will be equals to 36 into 1 bar dm cube. Yes, and therefore यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा, how many, this question mark will remain as it is, 36 upon 100 bar dm cube means what, 0.36 bar dm cube. Okay, so 1 joule will be equals to 36 bar dm cube. Okay, so ये आ गया आपका आंसर. यहाँ पे हमको bar dm cube में कन्वर्ट करने पर क्या आ जाएगा, this will be 0.36 bar dm cube. Now we have the W in bar dm cube, we have this as bar and V in dm cube. So just substitute out all the things and find out the answer. So here W will be equals to minus P external into delta V. Okay, so W is 0.36 bar dm cube upon, I will bring this P external over here. Okay, so my P external is 1.2 bar. Okay, 1.2 bar is equals to minus delta V. Okay, now this is, we are going to solve it out. 1.2 and 36, we know that 12 threes are 36, but to make it simpler we are going to remove the decimal. To remove the decimal I have to multiply the numerator by 100 and therefore I will multiply the denominator also by 100. So this will become 36 and this will become 120. Bar will get cancelled. dm cube is equals to minus delta V. Okay, now 36 divided by 120 is nothing but 0.3 because 12 3s are 36. Okay, 0.3 dm cube is equals to, now minus delta V is V2 minus V1. So minus V2 minus V1. Therefore 0.3 dm cube will be equals to, now in this case we don't know V2, so let us keep V2 as it is. Okay, minus V1 is 0.5 dm cube. Yes. Now let us open this. This will become minus V2 and this will become plus 0.5 dm cube. So minus V2 को अगर मैं इस साइड लाती हूँ तो it will become plus V2 will be equals to 0.5 dm cube, and this will go over there and will become minus 0.3 dm cube, and this is nothing but 0.2 dm cube. And since we have started with the 500 centimeter cube, we can convert this into centimeter cube also by multiplying it with 10 raised to the power 3. So if I multiply it with 10 raised to the power 3, then it will become centimeter cube. ये हमने अब decimeter में करने के लिए क्या किया था? We have multiplied it by 10 raised to the power minus 3. Now here we will multiply it by 10 raised to the power plus 3, and that is nothing but 200 centimeter cube. So this is your final volume. Okay, have you understood? Okay, now let's move to the second. Okay, so let's move to the second numerical, that is, they calculate the maximum work when 24 grams of O2 are expanded isothermally and reversibly from the pressure of 1.6 bar to 1 bar at 298 Kelvin. R is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. Okay, so this numerical is given. Again, we will compute out first what is given to us and what we have to find out. Okay, so given. Now in this case, it is asking us calculate the maximum work. Means we have been directly given a question to calculate out the maximum work when and 24 grams of O2. 24 grams of O2 means what? We are given the weight of O2, that is 24 gram of O2. Are expanded isothermally and reversibly. Okay, just now I said that whenever the work done will be given, then this condition will be given. In this case, both are given. Maximum work भी बताया गया है और condition भी दी हुई है. But हमेशा ऐसा नहीं रहेगा. अगर आपको दिया गया है कि in an isothermal and reversible process कुछ आपको conditions दी हुई है, then they will ask you just find out the work done. Then you have to compute out that there you have to find out the maximum work done. Okay. Now W is equals to 24 gram isothermally and reversibly from the pressure of 1.6 bar to 1 bar, means from P1, that is P1 is 1.6 bar and P2 is 1 bar. Okay, and the temperature T is given to be at 298 Kelvin. Also the value of gas constant R is 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. Okay, so these all things are given, and what we have to find out? We have to find out the W max, means the maximum work done. Okay, so now in this case we know that the formula for W max is minus 2.303 nRT log to the base 10 of P1 upon P2. Okay, we know that this formula is for W max. We have to calculate out W max. This is given N. Now first let us see what things have been given and what we have to find out. Okay, तो अब W max निकालना है, लेकिन यहाँ पर हमें सबसे पहला दिख रहा है N, number of moles. Number of moles की वैल्यू यहाँ पर दी नहीं है. But we know that number of moles N is nothing but the mass upon the molar mass. Now in this case mass is given. Mass is given to be 24 gram और molar mass मतलब उस पर्टिकुलर मॉलिक्यूल का मोलर मास. तो यहाँ पर क्या दिया हुआ है? ऑक्सीजन. ऑक्सीजन मीन्स 16. ऑक्सीजन का एटॉमिक मास है 16. नाउ यहाँ पे O2 है, मीन्स वी हैव टू ऐड 2 16s, therefore 32. So here in this case the molar mass is 32 grams. Okay, now from this we will get the value of the N, and if we solve this we will get 0.75 gram. Okay, so we have got the value of N. Now R is given. R is in joules per Kelvin per mole, and P1 and P2 are given. Both are in bar, and temperature T is in Kelvin. So everything is given. We have to just put all the values and we have to find out the answer. But in this case, this is joules per Kelvin per mole. Okay, so whatever answer for the work done will come out, that will be in joules. Okay, so let us find it out. Now let us keep all the things in Wmax as Wmax will be equals to minus 2.303 into N is 0.75 gram, okay, into R. R is 8.314. No, sorry, this will be in moles. These are the number of moles, okay. This both gram will get cancelled and we'll write it as mole. Mole into 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole into T. Let me write it over here. Into T is 298 Kelvin into log to the base 10 of P1, that is 1.6 upon 1. Okay. So we have to just calculate it out. First of all, we are going to cancel out whatever can be cancelled in the units. Okay. So in this case, this mole and per mole will get cancelled. Per Kelvin and Kelvin will get cancelled. और कुछ यहाँ पर है नहीं. Okay, means the answer will be in joules. Now just we have to multiply it out. So before doing the multiplication using log, we have to first solve out this log. So 0.2.303 into 0.75 into 8.314 into 298 into log of 1.6. So log of 1.6, since after 1 it is decimal, so यहाँ पे आ जाएगा आपका 0 point. 0 point हम क्या करेंगे, log देखेंगे 16 का, 16 में 0, that is 2041. Okay, log of 16 is 2041. Now you can either multiply all this and solve the numerical, or you can use log table, but I will prefer using log table only because it is the simplest way to solve the numerical and there is very less probability of getting it wrong. Okay, so let us use log. So log of Wmax will be equals to, now if I want to apply the log to this complete moiety, then it will become minus log of 2.303. Now since the multiplication is signed, therefore I will give the plus sign. So plus log of 0.75 plus log of 8.314 plus log of 298 plus log of 0.2041. Okay, so just we have to find out all the logs and let us write down the values of the log. फर्स्ट इज लॉग ऑफ 2.303. अब यहाँ पर एक के बाद डेसिमल है, मतलब हमारा कैरेक्टरिस्टिक हो गया 0. अब 0 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक लगाने के बाद हम लॉग में क्या करेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू सी 23 का लॉग, उसमें हम 0 देखेंगे एंड वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड द मीन डिफरेंस ऑफ द थर्ड रो. सो इट विल कम आउट टू बी 0.3623 प्लस लॉग ऑफ 0.75. नाउ 0 पॉइंट मतलब 0 के बाद पॉइंट है, सो 0 minus 1 is -1, सो बार 1. अब हम क्या करेंगे, लॉग ऑफ 75, दैट कम्स आउट टू बी 8751 प्लस लॉग ऑफ अगेन 8.314. एक के बाद डेसिमल है तो यहाँ आ जाएगा 0. अब हम क्या करेंगे, 83 के लॉग में जाएंगे, वहां पे फर्स्ट वाले रो में हम फोर्थ का मीन डिफरेंस ऐड करेंगे. ओके, आई होप यू ऑल नो हाउ टू यूज द लॉग टेबल्स. ओके, सो see the log of 83. In that you are going to see the first row and you are going to add with it the mean difference में जो fourth column में होगा, fourth row में जो होगा वो आप उसके साथ add करोगे. So this will come out to be 9198. Okay, plus 298 means after 3 के बाद decimal है तो ये हो जाएगा 3 minus 1 2 point. We are going to see the log of 29. In that we are going to see the 8th row. So 4742 plus again here it will be bar 1 because 0 minus 1 is -1.91 का हम क्या देखेंगे 98. That comes out to be 3098. Okay, now just we are going to add up them. ठीक है, ये सभी को हम ऐड करेंगे and we are going to find out the answer. The answer will come out to be 0.9412. Okay, this much. This will come out to be the answer for the log of Wmax. Okay, log of W max. But we don't want log, we want only W max. So we are going to multiply it with antilog. So antilog of log of W max will be equals to antilog of 2.9412. Okay, so this will become only antilog into log is 1, so this will become W max will be equals to antilog of 2.9412. अभी antilog देखते हो क्या करेंगे, जो भी आंसर आएगा that will be 0 point और into, अब हम यहाँ पे log एंटीलॉग देखते हो तो हम क्या करेंगे, डेसिमल के बाद के नंबर का एंटीलॉग देखा जाता है. ओके, मीन्स अब इसमें हम क्या करेंगे, एंटीलॉग किसका देखेंगे, 0.94 का फर्स्ट रो में सेकंड वाले रो का जो मीन डिफरेंस होगा वो ऐड करके हम यहाँ इसका एंटीलॉग देखेंगे. ओके, सो ये आ जाएगा आपका, जो भी आंसर यहाँ पर आएगा वो यहाँ आंसर आ जाएगा इनटू, अब यहाँ जो आपका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है ओके डेसिमल के पहले का, उसमें हम क्या करेंगे, एक ऐड करेंगे और उसको इस तरह से लिखेंगे 10⁻3. सो इन दिस केस द एंटीलॉग ऑफ 9412 इज 8734. 8734. सो दिस मच जूस इज योर आंसर. इसको हम थोड़ा सिंप्लीफाई करके लिखें, यहाँ पे +3 है तो आई विल मूव दिस डेसिमल 3 ओवर हियर. 1 2 3 मींस 873.4 joules. So this is my answer. Okay, so in this way you can solve the W max numerical by using the log. Okay, try to use log only to solve this numerical so that you will not get any mistake. Okay, now let us move to the third type. So this is our third type. Calculate the standard enthalpy of reaction Fe2O3 plus thrice CO, giving you twice Fe plus thrice CO from the following data. Okay, some enthalpy of formation for all the reactants have been given here over here. Okay, and he is asking us to calculate the standard enthalpy of reaction. Okay, so in this case we have seen two types of numericals: standard enthalpy of reaction, simple, and second is the bond enthalpy. Okay, तो आपको सबसे पहले जब इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपको ये देखना है कि ये बॉन्ड एंथैल्पी का क्वेश्चन है या आपको सिंपल रिएक्शन में एंथैल्पी फॉर्म में एंथैल्पी चेंज देखना है. ओके, तो सिंस इन दिस केस यहाँ हमें कोई बॉन्ड के बारे में यहाँ पे बताया नहीं गया, जितने भी है दिए हुए वो क्या है, डायरेक्ट कंपाउंड, डायरेक्ट जो मॉलिक्यूल्स है उनका फॉर्मेशन एंथैल्पी दिया हुआ है. ओके, मींस इन दिस केस वी आर नॉट आस्क्ड टू फाइंड आउट द बॉन्ड एंथैल्पी, वी हैव टू जस्ट फाइंड आउट द एंथैल्पी ऑफ द रिएक्शन. तो अगर आपको यहाँ पर CO मतलब किसी बॉन्ड, इनके बीच में के बॉन्ड के बारे में अगर आपको एंथैल्पी दी रहती थी तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाता था, ये बॉन्ड एंथैल्पी का क्वेश्चन हो जाता था. बट इन दिस केस सिंपल रिएक्शन दी हुई है और हर एक का आपको फॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है, एंथैल्पी का फॉर्मेशन, एंड यू हैव टू आस्क टू फाइंड आउट द स्टैंडर्ड एंथैल्पी ऑफ रिएक्शन. ओके, सिंपल है. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग लेट अस राइट डाउन व्हाट इज गिवन टू अस. नाउ इन दिस केस गिवन इज डेल्टा ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ Fe2O3 is given to be -824 kilojoules per mole. Second is given the heat of formation or the change in enthalpy of formation for carbon monoxide is -110 kilojoules per mole. And third, the heat of formation for CO2 is -393 kilojoules per mole. Okay, this is given to you. And what has been asked? We have been asked to find out the enthalpy for the reaction. Okay, standard enthalpy for the reaction. So since we know that the standard enthalpy for the reaction, इसका फॉर्मूला कौन सा हो जाएगा, जो हम लोगों ने रिएक्शन के लिए देखा था वो क्या था, इट इज नथिंग बट द समेशन ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट minus the summation of change in enthalpy of formation of the reactant. Okay, so just we have to use this formula. Now in this case the product means we have to first take the reaction. What reaction is given? Fe2O3 plus thrice CO, this is in solid state, this is your gaseous state, gives you twice Fe in the solid state plus thrice CO2 in the gaseous state. So this is your reaction given and you have to find out the enthalpy change for the reaction. So in this case we have to sum up the enthalpy for the formation of the product minus enthalpy of formation of the reactant. मतलब ये product की formation में हमें कितना change in enthalpy आया और रिएक्टेंट के इसमें एंथैल्पी चेंज कितना आया। बस ये दोनों देखने के बाद हमें उन दोनों को सब्सट्रैक्ट करना है एंड विल गेट द एंथैल्पी फॉर द रिएक्शन। तो हम क्या करेंगे, साइमल्टेनियसली सभी चीजें एक साथ देखेंगे। नाउ इन दिस केस फर्स्ट वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट द enthalpy, standard enthalpy for the reaction, and that is nothing but the summation of formation of product. अब product में यहाँ पर क्या क्या है, this is your reactant, this is your product, so we have to take the enthalpy form or standard enthalpy of formation of Fe plus standard enthalpy of formation of CO2, and here there are 2 Fe, so we will multiply it by 2, and here there is 3 CO2, so we are going to multiply it with 3. Okay, इस तरह से हम लेंगे माइनस समेशन ऑफ एंथैल्पी ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट। अब रिएक्टेंट में क्या क्या है, इट इज नथिंग बट द एंथैल्पी, स्टैंडर्ड एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ रिएक्टेंट, दैट इज Fe2O3, और Fe2O3 के कितने मोल्स है, 1, सो मल्टीप्लाई इट विद बाय 1 प्लस standard enthalpy of formation of CO, and how many moles are there, 3, so multiply it by 3. ठीक है, अब सभी वैल्यूज आपके पास है, you have to just substitute out and find out the answer. So this will be 2 into formation of Fe. Now in this case Fe is an एटम इन इट्स ओन मॉलिक्यूलर स्टेट। ओके, एटम है वो एटॉमिक स्टेट में है आपका Fe, और ऐसे Fe के लिए कुछ ब्रेक होगा क्या, वहां पर कोई ब्रेक होगा ही नहीं, कुछ यहाँ पर एंथैल्पी फॉर्मेशन में भी नहीं आएगी और कोई भी एंथैल्पी चेंज नहीं रहेगा। व्हाई, बिकॉज इट इज फाउंड इन नेचर। Fe को बनाया नहीं है हमने, ऑलरेडी इट इज इन नेचर। ओके, सो वी डोंट नो अबाउट द एंथैल्पी चेंज। तो इनका ये जो एंथैल्पी चेंज है, यहाँ पर कोई एंथैल्पी चेंज नहीं है, सिंस इट इज obtained from the nature, so enthalpy change for a particular atom, अगर atomic state में है वो अपने, then it will be 0. So 2 into 0 plus 3 into formation of CO2. Formation of CO2 is given as minus 393 kilojoules per mole. I will not write every time kilojoules per mole because all the units are in kilojoules per mole. तो उसको complicated नहीं करते, उसको simple ऐसे रहने देंगे, ठीक है। Minus then 1 into delta H of formation of Fe2O3 is minus 824 kilojoules per mole plus 3 into heat of formation of the CO. CO is minus 110 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so just multiply. So 2 into 0 will be 0 and 3 into minus 393. So answer will be negative, minus 3 3s are 9, 3 9s are 27, 7 2 carry, 3 3s are 9, 10 11, 1179. Okay, minus this is again minus 824 plus into minus is minus, 3 zeros are 0, 3 1s are 3, 3 1s are 3. Okay, so this will become now minus 1179. Now since this is both are negative, we are going to add them up. So minus, and the sign will be again minus. So 4 plus 0 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, 8 plus 3 is 11. So this will become minus 1179 plus 1154. And if we subtract it, now since here it is minus plus, so we are going to subtract it and we'll give the sign of the greater number. So in this case the greater number is this one, therefore sign will be minus. Then 9 minus 4 will be 5, 7 minus 5 will be 2. And this is 0. So this will be 25 kilojoules per mole. So delta H, the standard enthalpy for the reaction, is 25 kilojoules per mole. Okay, simple. Now let us move to the next type, that is type 4. Okay, so let us move to the next. For a certain reaction, delta H standard is 219 kilojoules and delta S means the entropy, standard entropy, is minus 21 joule per Kelvin. Determine whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Okay, this is a very simple reaction. It doesn't need any calculations. It only needs what you have studied. Okay, so now in this case, what is given for a certain reaction, the enthalpy change is given. Okay, standard enthalpy for a particular reaction is given, that is 219 kilojoules, and the entropy change is given minus 21 joule per Kelvin, and determine whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Now just now we have seen that for for computing out whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous, we have to take the total entropy. Okay, जब भी हमें स्पॉन्टेनियस और नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस बताना है तब हम क्या करेंगे, सिर्फ सिस्टम का एंट्रोपी नहीं लेते हैं, हम क्या करेंगे, टोटल एंट्रोपी लेंगे. और आप लोग मिस्टेक यही करते हो, आप जस्ट देख लेते हो यहाँ पर क्या किया है, एंट्रोपी निगेटिव है, मतलब ये रिएक्शन क्या हो गई, नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस. ऐसा नहीं करना है. ओके, नाउ इन दिस केस यू हैव टू कंप्यूट आउट द टोटल एंट्रोपी. नाउ वी नो दैट फॉर दिस, let us first write down what is given to us. Okay, now in this case given is delta H, means the change in the enthalpy is 219 kilojoules. Okay, and the standard entropy is given to be minus 21 joules per Kelvin. Okay, and what we have to find out, we have to find out whether our reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Okay, this we have to compute out, non-spontaneous. Okay, now solution. Now in this case we know that the delta S, we have to compute out the delta S total, and delta S total is nothing but delta S for system plus delta S or entropy change for the surrounding. Yes, and the system is already given, minus 21 kilojoules per mole, joule per Kelvin. Okay, this is given, but this is not given. Delta S for surrounding we don't know, but we know that delta S for surrounding is nothing but Q reversible upon T. Yes, now in this case Q reversible means जो भी आपको डेल्टा H दिया हुआ है, रिवर्सिबल अपॉन T, एंड वी नो दैट H अपॉन T इज नथिंग बट this is nothing but H, enthalpy change, so this is nothing but delta H. But in this case we have to take the negative of delta H. Why? Because we are considering the reversible process. Okay, सीधी प्रोसेस जा रही है तो डेल्टा H लग रहा है 219 किलो जूल्स. ओके, अगर वही प्रोसेस को मैं उल्टा लेके आऊं, मतलब रिएक्शन को मैं प्रोडक्ट से रिएक्टेंट की तरफ लेके आऊंगी, तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्या होगा, अगर रिएक्टेंट से प्रोडक्ट की तरफ जा रहे हैं तो हीट एब्जॉर्ब हो रही है, तो प्रोडक्ट से रिएक्टेंट की तरफ आएंगे तब क्या होंगी, हीट रिवॉल्व होगी, मतलब रिएक्शन एक्सोथर्मिक बन जाएगी. देयरफॉर वी हैव टू टेक हियर माइनस डेल्टा एच. सो डेल्टा एस फॉर सराउंडिंग इन दिस केस विल बिकम नाउ minus 219 kilojoules. Okay, so now since this is negative, this delta S for surrounding has also become negative, so minus plus minus. Okay, so your delta S total will be a negative plus a negative, two negatives. When we add two negative, we will get the answer, we'll add them up, but the sign will be negative, means delta S total in this case is negative, and therefore your system or the reaction which is asked, so in this case the reaction is, now since S is negative means less than 0, and therefore the reaction is non-spontaneous. So your answer is that the reaction is non-spontaneous. Okay, so always do this. मैं समझ गई आपका बोलना है कि यहाँ पे भी निगेटिव आया तब भी नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस हम लिख सकते थे, बट यहाँ हो सकता था कि आपका जो आंसर है ये वाला आंसर पॉजिटिव आए. अगर ये आपको निगेटिव देते थे तो ये पॉजिटिव बन जाता था, और ये बड़ी वाली 219 इज अ बिग नंबर, एंड दैट इफ इट कंटेन्स पॉजिटिव साइन देन आपका यहाँ पे भी पॉजिटिव साइन आ जाता था, और पॉजिटिव साइन आ जाता था तो रिएक्शन क्या बन जाती थी, स्पॉन्टेनियस. ओके, सो always find out delta S total by adding system plus surrounding, and you can find out whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous depending upon the value of delta S total. If it is negative, non-spontaneous; if it is positive, spontaneous; and if it is equals to 0, then the system is at equilibrium. Okay, so let us now move to the next type. Okay, so let us see one more of this type. Determine whether the following reaction is spontaneous under standard state of condition. Twice H2O liquid plus O2 in the gaseous state gives you twice H2O2 in your liquid state. And the given values are, if delta H standard means the standard enthalpy for the following reaction is 196 kilojoules, and the enthalpy, standard enthalpy of formation, or sorry, entropy is minus 126 joule per Kelvin. Okay, so in this case also what will happen? Now in this case, standard enthalpy is given to be 196 kilojoules. Okay, and the entropy, standard entropy is minus 126 joules per Kelvin. And you've been asked whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Again the same thing. Okay, so in this also we have to calculate out S total. We know that S total is delta S of system plus delta S of surrounding. Now in this case again the delta S for surrounding is not given out. So first let us compute out what is delta S of surrounding, which is Q reversible upon T, means minus delta H, and here delta H is 196, so this will become minus 196 kilojoules. Okay, now delta S total in this case will be system is again negative, that is minus 126 joules per Kelvin, and H means delta S for surrounding is also negative, so plus minus 196 kilojoules. Okay, so this is negative plus minus negative, so answer will be your negative, and you don't need to find out the answer in this case because they are asking just about whether the reaction is spontaneous or not. So no, the reaction is not spontaneous. No, answer will be no, the reaction is not spontaneous. Means what? It is a non-spontaneous reaction. So in the format the question is asked, you have to give the answer. जिस तरह से आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा आपको उसी फॉर्मेट में उसका आंसर देना है. Okay, so for this video let us stop over here. In the next video just I am going to continue with this numericals in my next video with the type 6. Okay, so with type number 6 we are going to see in the next video. Okay, so till then, thank you, bye bye.